is this page.
Yeah, we need to, so yeah, the weight and balance is done. We're all within weight limits. Yeah, it's going to be this page right in here, okay? Where we just plug in our airports.
That's Jaden's paper.
Pick out your runways. I think we were planning on using Phoenix, runway 20, or runway 8, right?
Runway 8,
Runway
yeah.
8. Okay.
Water. So when I do these, because I always put in the Z, do I need to for Zulu?
Yeah,
it's okay to always, there's random Z's all over my paper.
That's fine, yeah, you should be putting in the Z's.
Okay.
Yeah, off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you gotta go and reconnect and then get into the thing.
And then, what other? I'm actually going to need the weather for the alternate. I did not write that down. Oh, I guess I didn't write Denver down. I wrote the alternate, not Denver. Destination. Alternate is period junction.
So I did put Phoenix's weather up on the thing right there if you want it.
What was the weather at Phoenix again? Well, right now. I just wrote it over.
So it's wind.
It's up there. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to
Oh, you're good. Smash it off.
And then I guess I wrote down Grand Junction, but I did not write down. I'll make Denver when we go back to that page. And then I had. Oh, we didn't ever end up picking our Denver yet.
Yeah, we haven't picked Denver.
I write pretty gigantic, and these little small boxes don't really work. Big enough to need to move it closer so it's 3 inches from your face, like me.
No. So do we put the altimeter on here as well?
Yeah, you can fit it in there, yeah.
But do we have to?
No, you don't have to. I mean,
as long as we basically get
get the ones that are important.
The wind, the miles, and
the ceiling.
Yeah. Then we're okay.
Yeah.
I put the.
I write outside the lines all the time.
Yeah.
I told you coloring is going to be hard for me.
Okay, so you've got that. I think we were planning on using runway 8.
Yep.
So as far as getting the information for runway 8, we need to know the takeoff minimums.
Wait, so we were using runway 8, you said?
Yeah.
For takeoff, yeah.
For minimums.
I feel like we've just gone so out of my order.
You said it differently?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And because I print the weather, the packet, so everything's lined up next to what Denver is and all that.
Yeah.
So you can see my workstation is. I have a desk about this big at home, and I'm throwing stuff on the floor, it's bad. And then my computer takes up half my desk too, because it's this big, freaking huge.
So there's all your minimums for your takeoff stuff.
Okay.
LTS is less than accurate, right? Adequate, sorry.
Yeah, less than standard, yeah.
So
So it'd be, well, 1 quart.
So the one box asks you for the RVR, the other box asks you for the visibility. And then as far as those other 3 little boxes,
Yeah, I always forget those ones.
so well there is, and then for this runway.
Oh, I know what my question is on this one. So, because the other day we were in school talking about it, and they all had the 5s in them.
Yep.
But because it was SkyWest, we put in 600.
Yeah, SkyWest minimums are 600, but
But if we saw it like on a practical or whatever, we put in like this says whatever it says, but like if it said the 5, we'd put that there, right?
yeah, and even on my stuff, if you put whatever it says on the chart, that's fine too. I just was kind of saying, SkyWest minimum, just to kind of throw it in there.
And so that would be the 16.
Yeah. So
Okay.
well, those little boxes though, the
next
ones
3?
the next 3. So they don't actually go down, but they don't go below that quarter mile.
Okay.
So you actually, those are all just going to be not applicable because they don't go that low.
Okay.
So there shouldn't be anything in those boxes. Okay, so we good on Phoenix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now Denver. We need to pick out. Pick out.
Give out to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Chantel's not here. She didn't bring anything today.
Yeah.
Does she always bring the food?
Mm-hmm.
I got more chips.
10 boyfriends. Fire food.
Yep.
Bring it to class. She's dating all the Johns at SkyWest, so.
Oh, the Skywest.
Who's? I know Jules. Who's the other ones?
Apparently there's like 3
Really?
that all like her. Jules is usually the one like that buys pizza and stuff though.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the Denver layout. Really hard to see on your guys' stuff, but the big thing first is what was the weather? Let me go down to the Denver weather here. Okay, so if you're gonna put in Denver, and then it's looking like, so we did figure out our ETA for Denver now because we've got our route and everything. It was the 1 hour and 31 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus the taxi out. So we were leaving Phoenix at 21:25 Zulu, and if you add taxi out, we take off at 21:35 Zulu, and an hour and a half later arrive in Denver. So 22:35, 23:35 plus 31, so like 0006 or something, basically.
Sure.
Yeah.
0006Z should be our ETA into Denver.
So here's my other super way off subject question. But again, it's probably because it's Zulu. So when you go to the different time zones, do we account for that? Do you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, see, that's Zulu. Zulu has no time zones.
It will always be.
Yep.
So it's like the other day, it was like, I don't know what we were planning, like going to San Diego. And I'm like, well, do I have to change the time but it's all in Zulu, so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Zulu. Like, I wish we were on Zulu for everything because there are no time zones. Like, it's 18Z right now here. I don't know if it's 18Z, but let's say it's 20Z here right now. It's 20Z in China. I mean, it's the same around the world. So it won't change anywhere you go.
See, I can't pick the box.
Okay, so what weather were you guys writing down? Was it basically this line here?
I put that line.
Okay, good.
So I don't know how
I
you
was
did
even
put it in the
reading
box.
that. I was looking at that.
I was when you
Oh
said that,
my
I was like, what do you
goodness.
mean? Mine fit like perfect.
That one doesn't have the temperature in it, so you
We
can
just,
take it off
the
METAR.
tap never has the temperature, so you just always got to get the temperature from the METAR. And the altimeter if you put it in. Okay, so we've got that 2 miles overcast 800. See the wind there, 080 at 10 knots. So now with that in perspective, let's go pick a runway. Denver. Okay. Now, if you remember the NOTAMs, there wasn't any major concern with the NOTAMs other than the 2 FTC NOTAMs that affected
17.
runway 7 and runway 17 right. So let's just try and avoid those two and pick something different. Now the wind is 080 at 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what runway aligns with 080 the best?
Mm. 34.
34 left.
Or what's this little one down here?
So
Oh.
that's 34 left and 34 right.
34 left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you remember what the easiest thing is to do with runway selection. I mean, first of all, the biggest factor is the wind, right? The biggest factor is the wind. So the wind is 080 at 10 knots. So
Be like this way, kind of.
yeah, 080, yeah. I mean, basically blowing from the east to the west. So, but when you're looking for a runway, the easiest thing is to do is match your runway with your wind. That's what you want to do. So if you have wind 080, what runway should we be looking for if there is one? Now, you're not always going to find one that's perfect, but in this case,
You go the other way.
well, no, your wind is the opposite already. So if you're trying to match
Oh, you're right.
match the
Am I messed
runway,
up? Because wouldn't it be like this, coming this direction? It
080.
wouldn't be straight this way, right?
Well, you think 90 degrees is straight east.
Oh, that's true.
So 80 degrees is where the wind's coming from. Well, not so much like that. If 90 is this, 80 is going to be that. 10 degrees up. So your wind is 080. It's basically still.
Okay, so then it would still be, what, 7 then? Well, no.
7 would be fine.
7 or 8.
Doesn't matter.
So just what I'm trying to, I guess, get across is if you want to make runway selection as simple as possible, just try and match your runway to your wind. If your wind is 8, use runway 8. We have a runway 8.
That's confused.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
If your wind is 350 at 10, use runway 35. See, I'm just trying to make it simpler.
It makes a lot more sense now.
Your wind is
I was
already.
thinking 8 degrees.
I
In
was
my
too.
mind.
That's
I wasn't
what
thinking
was thinking,
80, so I was thinking 8.
This way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking
But
the same
now
thing.
that makes a lot more
It's
sense.
80. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I was thinking 8 too, so I'm like, oh, then 34. But
Yeah. So 080 at 10 knots is your wind.
80.
Now, wind is never reported. It's only reported in tenths. Okay? So you'll never see a 008. In other words, it's impossible to see it. Yeah.
Okay.
It only goes to tens. So you'll see 010, 020, 030. You'll never see anything in between. So, yeah, 080. So just match it with the runway 8. It also runway 7 works too, but runway 7 has that FTC NOTAM that we'd have to go mess with if we wanted to use it. So let's just use runway 8. We know it doesn't have an FTC NOTAM, and now we can see that it has those approach lights there, so it's probably got a nice approach to it. So let's go look at the approach, because we know it's not NOTAMed out of service. I'm going to go down here because Denver has tons of SIDS and stars. Oh, look at that, right on it. Okay. Okay. So Denver ILS or localizer runway 8. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Let's see what our minimums are.
Half mile and 200.
Yep. So, best possible ILS minimums, category 1. Okay. Everybody good with the minimums then?
Mm-hmm.
So you just put that in visibility.
Yeah, half mile. ILS as your instrument approach. And then if you need like the identifier or the frequencies, the 108.9.
That's okay.
Right. 200 an hour.
That's gonna say ILS there. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And then this one down here,
And then put
that's a half mile.
right. Yep.
Okay. Is that a 4 or 2?
That's a 4.
So it should be a half.
Okay. Grooved. You gotta see if it's grooved.
Yep. So where we find that is back on the chart we were actually just on. Sorry, this chart right here.
Probably is.
Heat.
All runways.
All
grooved.
runways grooved.
So what do you put in that? Just, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
I put a little yes.
yeah, you can put yes, and then and then yes, it's also a headwind too because it asks you that, and then just put yes, HW, whatever, headwind. That should take care of that. You know, it's not notamed or anything, so okay. So the next one would be alternate of Grand Junction. We've already looked at this one though, so we should already have most of it. So okay, so that was runway 29 that we were going to use in Grand Junction. If you're putting in that weather, it was the wind was 29009.
Oh,
So
this is
the weather was 29009.
Yeah, the wind for
The
Grand
wind.
Junction. Is,
What
yeah,
was,
And then if we did the 1 or 2, you'd write 1 or 2.
yeah, on the Navi. Yeah, if you
So like we did 1.
yeah,
right?
we did the
So
one.
just write a 1.
Yep.
This very last column.
Oh,
I was just getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, there's your Grand Junction weather.
do we know our ETA?
You gotta find that out for that one.
For Grand Junction, it would be so if it was we were 0006 into Denver, right? And then it was
28 minutes.
28 minutes. So just tack 28 minutes to that. So 28 plus 6, so it'd be 0034 or 3. Sorry, 0036, right?
No, 28 would be 4.
4.
34.
Okay. Yeah, 28 plus 6. Yeah, 4. Okay. Yeah, 0034. Okay, so you've got that. What else is it asking you for? So that first thing, once again, is going to be grooved, headwind, tailwind question, right?
Yeah.
So Grand Junction. Let's take a look. Runway 11 and 29 shows as grooved. This is a headwind. It's 29009 for the wind. So, and we're landing on runway 29. So we matched our runway with the wind there. Right?
Mm-hmm. Localizer.
Okay, it's LDA is the approach.
What does that stand for?
LDA is
Local distance.
Something.
distance. Let's see, landing.
Wind.
LDA. Gosh, I always botch that one. It's I can't remember. Landing.
I was gonna ask us that on the practical.
I was gonna ask us that on our final written.
Yeah.
I need to study for that. I need to pull my stuff.
What do we gotta know?
Study it? Yeah.
Either today or tomorrow. That's how I feel, I guess.
Localizer. So it's localizer directional aid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And LDA always. It's always LDA.
Yeah.
Any alternate?
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, that's the name of the approach we're using.
Oh.
We're not using the ILS because it's node and out. Most cases you want to try and use the ILS, but we can't because it's a node and out. So then what were the minimums?
The minimums, right here. No, that's a lie. No, that's right. That's
Those
the
are
right
the
one.
alternate minimums. Yep. Those are the alternate minimums. So 1,000 foot ceiling. So this is just taking these ones we have on the chart and adding the 401 to those.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so 600 plus 400, 1,000 foot ceiling, and then 1.5 plus the 1 is a 2.5 visibility.
Do you write all that in this one box?
What is it? Let me see the box again. So yeah, decision height and visibility. So yeah, you need 1,000 feet and then
Put it all in there?
2.5. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what's the next box over?
Notams.
And just put NA, yeah. And then it asks you 1 nav aid or 2 nav aid, right?
Yep.
Just put 1 because we use the 1 nav aid rule.
What was the localizer for this?
118.55. I believe I grabbed it.
109.7.
Oh, wrong one. Let's try to grab it when he scrolled by.
Okay, so we're good there. We got all that filled out. So we should be now good to go to simplified, right? So what are the 3 things we need to figure out our simplified?
ISO, when's the loft, and heading.
Yep.
Look at you.
Well, we need our altitude.
We already have that.
Okay, so what is the temperature in Phoenix? It was 40, right?
40.
Okay, so Phoenix is, we'll get our probably Phoenix to Denver. Stop back in here.
I think it's 3,000, 3,400, 33 something. And then instead of this, like on the Jepson chart, can't you always go look at it?
Yeah, so if you have the JEP chart open,
It's also on there.
yeah,
too.
so like when you're not using SkyVector,
Because I noticed they're a little bit different sometimes.
well, if they are depending on the chart. So, but if you go to the main chart, like right here,
Okay.
This is so the airport layout chart, top
Mhm.
left-hand corner, 1135.
Okay.
So what should ISA be?
13.
What was the temperature again?
40. Should be 13. So
40 minus 13 is 27.
so we are ISA plus 27.
30.
Right?
So plus 30.
Yeah.
Does it go that high?
Well, I don't know if it goes that high, but we'll just go to the highest ISA chart once we. As far as the simplified goes, it's just ISA plus 20 and above. So
okay.
we're going to be on that top one. So what's your takeoff weights?
Takeoff weight 66395.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't worked much past this.
I at least done now.
Yeah, like I at least emailed him and said, "This is where I'm like stopping."
Okay, so now we're on. So we got to go and figure out our actual takeoff
box
capability
thing.
here.
Oh, and get a little graph thing.
Yeah, I printed them out.
Well, I have them too, but
It's easier that way, I thought.
like I don't think we all need to have one.
Okay, so takeoff weight is what, 66,395 you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to round that up to 67,000. And then we're going to go to ISA plus 20. So if you see this here,
Okay.
ISA plus 20C is going to be that bottom line. So we're just figuring out our takeoff weight right now. Okay? Or sorry, we're figuring out our max cruise altitude potential. So we're going to be at 67, which is going to be right halfway in between 66 and 68 here. And then we're just going to go up to the ISA plus 20 line.
So what, 36?
Ish.
So
We
we're
have
just
to be at 37.
just above 37, but what's the other consideration we have with this flight?
Is
I
our-
got it to 29,000.
27, right?
Anything else?
That's right.
Yep, 27.
We're
So
gonna have the worst performance ever.
remember, 27,000. So we already actually knew our takeoff, our
I'll write that.
cruise altitude. Okay,
So low.
it is pretty low.
It's gonna be lugging.
Okay. So we know ISA, we know our cruise altitude. The only other thing we need to go figure out is our winds. Back to the chart here. Very end. These are our winds aloft.
And we're at what? 27?
Ooh, that's a lot.
So you just average the 2,400 and 24,000, 30,000?
Yeah, so yeah, that'd be the easiest thing to do is just average together the 24 and the 30,000 column. And then so these ones I didn't actually put these ones in order. So
They're not in order.
they're not in order, but for this it won't matter because if you just take the average, you're just taking all of them anyway.
But it will later.
It will later, yeah. So I'll separate it for that point. maybe what I'll do is I'll just separate them. Just hold off for just 1 second. I'm going to take some of these out here real quick. Line through that one. One you're using right now. Okay, I'm going to use Prescott.
Are you taking these out?
We don't even go over
I
them.
put a bunch of these in here in case people had different routes to be able, because if they went, depending on how they routed. So since we already know our route, I'm going to take off the ones that aren't really applicable.
Pablo, we didn't do Pablo.
Take that one out. So the first one should be Phoenix to well, actually, I'm just going to take Zuni out too.
So it should go Phoenix, Albuquerque,
Yeah.
right?
Phoenix, Albuquerque, and then Albuquerque to Alamosa.
Did we do Farmington?
I'm going to take Farmington out.
Okay. Then to just straight to Denver.
Yep, and then Alamosa to Denver. So
Much better.
So are you guys doing like the sideways average first and then, or do you want to like walk through this?
What do you mean sideways average?
Basically, when I have this problem, what I normally do is I just start down here
And just work them across.
and I write in Phoenix, and then I do the average across. So if it's 300 and 310, so it's going to be 305, and I'm just going to average those two. So then 21 and 11 on the speed. So let's just say 16.
Yep.
And then the average between those two temperatures is going to be, so negative 33 and negative 17. So halfway between 33 and 17 is, let's see, so that's 16 off, so 8, so 25. So negative 25 on the temperature. Okay, then if you want to go ahead and put them in order, you can, is basically what I'm saying. Then, because then the next one you're going to use is Albuquerque. And the average on Albuquerque is going to be 320 and 330, so 325 at, and an average of 28 and 30, so we'll just say 29, and that temperature is going to be negative 27. And the next one we go to is Alamosa, and that's going to be tempered, let's see, so 310 and 280. So yeah, 310 or 295 basically.
310 plus what?
310 and 280. So 31 and 28. I'm just thinking 295.
Yeah.
And then the speed 18 and 18. So that one's easy. 18. Temperature is negative 20 and negative 35, so 15 difference. So we'll go.
21.
So we'll go 8 off on the speed, or
on the temperature. I'm sorry. No.
21. Well, it should be halfway between 20 and 35. So it's 15 difference. So I would say go with the warmer would be 7. So just go with negative 27. And then lastly is Denver. That's going to be 310 and 290, so that's just going to be 300 at 26 and 24, 25, and then negative
30.
Yeah, so it's 15, so yeah, negative 30. And now you just need to average just those now. So 325, 305, 295, 300. So yeah, we'll go 306 at
22.
16 plus 29 plus 18. And that average temperature, 25, 27. Actually, you don't really even need to average the temperature for this part. Okay, did we write down what the average heading was originally?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
028.
028, okay. So now we need to know if our average heading is 028 and our average winds are 306 at 22, it'll be a headwind or a tailwind.
This one we used a little. That's where you use that now.
Yeah. Functions, plan leg, heading ground speed. Yeah. Now just you're gonna have to hit this. Hit that now. Hit clear, the little C button. Then type in your true course, which is your true heading for the.
Which is
028. Yep.
028.
Yep. The airspeed. We'll use 400 on this. Yeah.
And direction is 306.
Yeah, you gotta hit clear first.
Oh.
And then type in. Yeah, if you have something in there from before,
Oh,
you gotta
got
clear
it.
it. Then go to the next box, clear it, and type in 22.
22 now.
And there you go.
What was the true airspeed?
We just use 400 on this part.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. You could put 100. It won't make any difference.
And
But just use
the
it.
direction was
306. And then now does that change our true heading to the 24?
No, it doesn't. No.
You still are going to use your 28?
Yeah, the only thing we're looking for right here is just simply what is it, a headwind or a tailwind? That's all. And so based on what you're seeing on ground speed, what is it?
I don't know. This is where I cannot
It's a
grasp
little bit of a
this.
headwind.
Yeah, so
I
just
literally can't
compare.
grasp this.
Okay, well this part's really easy.
7, that's what I got right.
So if you're looking here, the way to tell if it's a headwind, so when you type in this true airspeed, what it gives you here, if it's less than this, that means it's a headwind. If this number ends up being more, then it's a tailwind. So just take the difference between this, and that's going to tell you. So 400 minus 390 is a 4. So it's a 4 knot headwind.
Did it go 0.28?
Yeah.
Is what it
Point to it.
I mean, it's weird.
Okay, so it's only 4, so it ends up being pretty easy when you use the chart. So let's hurry and just figure out the simplified fuel now. And then we'll break. Let's see, where was it? There it is. Okay. So we're using this simplified flight planning chart here. And so we know all of our information that we have now. So this is going to be, so we're going to always start out on the 0 reference line right here. We're going to go to our trip distance, which is 605.
Can we add in the alternate?
No, alternate is not part of any of this. Yep.
Ever?
Not on this part. We just want to know what our burn is to our destination at this point. So 605 is going to be right in here, right in. It shows my mouse, so right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So right in that little spot, I can draw usually. So if I put in this little highlight here, does it show up?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. So that's 605. So now we need to figure out. So this is a 4 knot headwind. So this is really a very tiny adjustment. So for a headwind, remember we follow this contoured line up this way if it's a headwind and down if it's a tailwind. So it's a 4 knot headwind. So that you can see the lines here. So if we're at 0 here, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So the first one is 10. So even halfway on the first one is going to be 5. So I mean it's barely moving our line off of where we're already at.
Okay.
Maybe, I mean, gosh, not even enough to see unless we way zoomed in on it. Everybody following that? Okay. Now from here we go. We switch back to that for a minute. That thing never wants to move with me, but I'm going to zoom out for just 1 second. Clear that off. Okay, so right in here, and we're going to draw that. Now we're going up to our cruising altitude, which is the flight level 270, remember? So we've got that a line on it. It's up in here. So we're going to draw this line. This isn't going to be straight on my thing here, but we're going to go up to 270 right there. Okay, and then from here, we now go straight over. That's not straight. Anyway, right in this area.
Doing the same thing, so.
To our reference line over here now. So now we're here at our weight. And what did you come up with on a landing weight?
54471. Anyone else?
And this is where
Mine's gonna be a little off.
This is where I think that where you might be having your problem. You're minusing off your. Okay, so show me your weight and balance real quick. Okay, so then you wrote your landing weight over here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, so this where you're taking this number right here is not
the right one.
You need to take this. You're adding this to it, or you're minusing this. So when you take your landing weight, go to your 0 fuel weight, which you've done, and then add this. Because you've got to put this back on. This is what you're landing with. But in your case, the other thing too here is when you have an alternate, you also are landing with that fuel as well.
Right.
So you need to add in your reserve and your alternate fuel back onto this number.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what you land with. So.
Because my alternate fuel is 1395.
Okay, so we're going to take our 56971 for your zero fuel weight, add back in your reserve, and then add in your alternate, your 1395, you said?
Yep.
Okay. So your landing weight is 60,866. So that was your
Now we know
that
where
question
it's
you
been.
were emailing the other day about. That's where you were.
It's like,
This is
where it?
you got to add this, but the big thing is here too is remember if you have an alternate, it also needs to be added back in because you're
Okay.
landing with that fuel on the plane.
Okay.
Okay, what numbers were you guys coming up with?
And I've been doing this like the whole time.
I had
I don't think I
59.
did it right because I
1,721.
So wait, what was he saying?
So that's with being 300 off.
So
So
I
add that
So
have
into
it'd
been
be,
the whole time on my own because I didn't know
60
different. I've
or-
been subtracting this.
It'd be 60,021. I
Yeah.
have.
Okay.
So we need to add in our reserve fuel. So you
I think I've
do.
been doing this part
You take
wrong.
the
man.
zero
Well,
fuel.
what is your landing weight? Let's see your landing weight first.
Well, I had to redo it because my thing was like way off, so I had to change
Okay.
all my index.
But your
and stuff, so I
landing
didn't get
weight
it to
shouldn't
it
even
before.
affect the index. So
That's what I was saying. I just wrote that one down. I erased my other one. I don't know what it is now.
well, you've got one down there on the bottom. Is that
That's the one I
you
just
down?
wrote down for that
Okay.
because I wanted to see if I can.
So what's your fuel then?
That
So
will also change.
my fuel is 9424.
Okay, and what was your zero fuel weight?
Zero fuel weight was 56971.
Okay, so all you got to do to figure it out is just take your zero fuel weight, add back in what she was saying, your 2,500 for your reserve, and what was your alternate fuel that you had?
100. Alternate fuel. Oh no, I wrote that down on here. Hold on.
So 2,500. Don't listen to me. Plus 1,395.
Right here, right? Or 1386.
Okay, so 1386. Okay, so you're landing at 60,857.
857.
Yeah, on yours.
Okay,
I mean, that's
so-
close to what, you guys are all close.
Okay, so you take your zero fuel weight, you add 2,500 into it,
Yeah, add your reserve and your alternate fuel back in.
and then okay,
So 25 plus the 8.
plus the
Or 13.
1386.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to get the index, add the reserve, add the alternate fuel to get the 38, same as before.
Yep.
Only before I was taking away the 25.
Yeah.
At least I was consistent when
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
every time.
They're usually just little tiny things that'll throw it off. So, okay, so if you're landing at 60,000, so let's go back to the simplified fuel chart here real quick. You're landing at 60,800, right? 900. So basically 61,000 pounds. I'm going to zoom in really close on this so we can see it good. I know it's going to totally screw up my line. So it's going to put us, so basically we're rounding this up to 61,000. So we're following this up from this point up to 61, which is only going to be, right in this area. So
And then
that's
straight
a really
across.
horrible line. But
Call it what, like 5'7"?
well, let's see, because it was right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we were, and then we moved it up to about right here. So if we went up to that, let's say, and then we go from there straight over. So 5'6", 5'7", 5.8.
So 5,800
Yeah, 5,800.
is simplified.
Yep. So now in this case, our simplified is more than our initial, right?
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
Our simplified is
Headwind?
because of our initial.
No, headwind was only 4 knots. But one other big factor, though.
Elevation. Hello.
You mean
Flight level.
Our flight level.
Flight level, yeah, that's why. 27,000 feet.
I got us there.
Yeah. Exactly.
So 5.8. That's what we would end up going with. So the initial fuel was still pretty accurate though.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now we're at basically got the simplified fuel.
And this is the actual burn. No.
Yeah, that is.
And then
gonna
that
be
goes
just the
here.
burn. Yep, 5,800. Yep.
Plus 2,500. And then, because we have the alternate, do we add it there or is it already here?
It's not. So it's not in there
So
yet.
add it. Take
Yeah.
it from here. The 13.95.
So. Yep.
Oh.
Equals 9695.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm totally talking out loud.
That's fine.
It's 2.5.
And then down there below is you're just going to put the time. So that was like
1:30. I did not write that down. 1:31. I wrote down the alternate distance was 28 minutes. What did you guys write down for the distance? The time to destination? 1:30.
1 hour 31 minutes.
Thank you.
then 28 for your alternate.
28 plus 45. 104. It's another hour. 60 plus 4.
Hour 44.
Is that 244?
Yeah, total.
I had a hard time with that conversion in my brain. $204.
So it should
Did I do it
be,
right?
well, so you should have
2:44.
an hour 31 there, plus 45 and 28. So 45 and 28 was 59. That's basically an hour.
Yeah.
Right, actually, no, sorry, 45 and 28.
45 plus 28. 73.
Plus 28, yeah. Then 73. So you're an hour and 13 there, plus an hour and 31. So you've got 2 hours. And so you've got 13 and 31. So 44. So it should be 2 hours and 44 minutes.
That's the other part I'm struggling is the converting it into the minutes and hours. The minutes to the hours.
Yeah, what I normally do is if I see that it's so like 45 and 28, adding those up. So I just minus 60 in my head from there. So I know
Okay.
it's just 1 hour 13 minutes.
Okay.
And then you can just add it like that.
Okay. I need to work on some of those that I've had. Maybe I can do that on break and work through that through the simplified. Get those finished up.
So what did you say the equation was again?
Just if you're adding up minutes, if you're adding up like a whole bunch of minutes, just take whatever it is over 60. So minus 60 off of it, then you just know you're 1 hour and then whatever's left,
Oh yeah.
It's been a long time since I even had to do anything harder than a pin pad add up.
So that should be it for simplified, and then we'll just work on the rest when we probably tomorrow morning because we'll do the other flight plan tonight.
Okay.
So.